Massive, can you hear me? You're in stealth mode? Sure, but we're good and we're live and everything's nice and clear. Question. Awesome. All right, I might just ramble on a little bit here. Do some introductions. Like, welcome to Formula Worldwide Leagues presents Friday Night Lights. The incomparable Donut Puncher is not here today. He is traveling with his family, a well-deserved vacation. But in his place, we have MassiveNoogies, who will be commentating our race. I am your host, Jim Cab. This is round 2, season 23-2, Friday Night Lights. We have a cracker of a season coming up, I'm telling you. Last week was kind of a disaster with 3 safety cars and a shit show of gangbangs and stuff like that. But we'll see how things fare this evening as we are in the streets of Las Vegas. No valve covers to be concerned with. No $1,000 ticket prices, only to be kicked out of the stands before the session starts. Tune in here on Twitch. Watch us on YouTube after the fact. And if you're interested, come and join us. Find us on Discord, Formula Worldwide Leagues. So this is like our 9th season, I want to say. But with a game cycle coming out, and we run about 4 seasons per game cycle, we decided to kind of make a little bit more organized that way. That's just the way my brain works. Okay. So I'm not sure who everybody is watching. I have to pull up the stream so I can see myself. But let's talk about what happened last week as you take a look at these cars ripping around their fast laps. Let's see here. So last Friday, our season opener was at Suzuka. And it was quite the race. Taking the win last week was Logical Terror in the McLaren, returning as a team principal after having a bit of an off season in the final season of F122, as a lot of people did. And last season really put in a solid performance to try to get back into the top 10, and he did. So he's back in that team principal role, driving for McLaren. And yeah, as I said, he took the win last week in commanding force. We have Deffy, who's returned to Formula Worldwide Leagues. He raced with us briefly at the beginning of last season and for a few races the season before that. This time he's come prepared. He came in second last week. And he also set the fastest lap, so 19 points for him. And rounding out the top 3 last week was the Schmooze Cruise in the Aston Martin. Also a new team principal. Picking up 15 points. Followed by Curtis, our reigning champion Gifted in the Mercedes. Curtis is in the Ferrari, by the way. Nova King in the Alpine. Steven, our streamer extraordinaire in the Haas, representing America. Switch Fishy, who dominated in TNC Division 3 last season and leapfrogged his way right into FNL as he was drafted this year. Junior Correa, moving up from WTF last season. He's in the Alfa Romeo. And then Ivaz Skyzes, also in the Alpine with his teammate Nova King. That's our top 10. And right now, Logical is sitting on provisional pole with a time of 1:31.797. He's out there running a hot lap right now. Sketchy Bull has missed out on the first race. He was vacationing with family. So he is our 2-time champion in the Red Bull, who was unseated last season by Gifted. One of the OG FWL racers here from the very beginning when we were actually called Friday Night Lights. Once we expanded to more, a Purple Sector 1 from Logical, but once we expanded to more divisions, I don't remember what I was saying there. Anyway, you'll notice that X Revokes retired, and that is because he picked up 5 SLPs in one of those incidents. I feel for him. It was a messy, accident in the sense that his monitor fell and his wheel came off the desk, and all sorts of shit happened, and he collected a bunch of people. So unfortunately, he had to pay the price for ruining others' races, even if it wasn't intentional. But he's a good sport. He understands the way things are. He served his quali ban for this race, so he'll be sitting towards the back of the pack, unless somebody gets disqualified. Then they'll be behind him. But so Curtis just moved himself up into P2 with a 1:31.75. What is the... That is quite the... that is 5/100ths of a second off of Logical's pace. Curtis had a rough race last week, but probably getting caught up and stuff. I haven't really fully reviewed the tape, or actually I think I did, but I ended up just watching the WTF race from earlier this week, so I've forgotten what happened last Friday. In any case, he's in there 5/100ths of a second behind Logical, and Sketchy is 2/10ths behind Logical in 3rd place. Miggs is another newcomer. He was started out in TNC, quickly moved up to WTF last season, and then was drafted. Who's that in the Red Bull? Switch Fishy. Looks like he had some challenges down there on that chicane. I should pull up some details here and see what all these corners are called in chicanes in Las Vegas. Switch's teammate Sketchy just puts in a lap that is 2/100ths of a second slower than Logical. So the top 3 are separated by 5/100ths of a second. That is absolutely bonkers. And Curtis's teammate Miggs, as I was talking there, he's put in a nice solid lap. He's almost 3/10ths off the pace, but that is pretty good. In fact, our top 10 are all within half a second of each other. And that is just absolutely phenomenal. That just goes to show the competitiveness of our league here, and how tight, how closely they all are. So this should, lead us to, as Donut would say, some hot racing action if they can keep it clean. But Sketchy is on looks like, oh no, he's probably on his in lap now. I put his pit. See how much time is left here, because the screen's going to switch to my telemetry. It looks like we got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in this session. So if somebody wants to put in another hot lap, they better get moving, because 1 minute and 30 around this circuit. If you don't get out within the next I'd say 30 seconds, you're going to be tight pressed for putting in a hot lap. Can you guys not hear me? Maybe these guys can't hear me. Well, let me see. Mig's retired. Okay, so let me see my party here. It looks like audio is included. Mute everyone. I can't hear. I hear game, no voices. So I've been talking this whole time and nobody can hear me. Fantastic. Massive, maybe you can check and see that your stream is including the party audio. I don't know if you can hear me. Party audio. Okay, well, I'm turning my party audio on because I guess I wasn't. But I've been here blabbing away and to nobody this entire time. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so I think
yeah, you'd have to go. Wait,
try it now.
You can, yeah. Let me see. Ploob, can you hear me, Ploob? It work? You try speaking the English language? Come on, man. If I berate him enough, maybe he'll finally respond to me in the chat. Well, that's a bummer. I said a whole bunch of important shit and nobody heard it. But I can't believe how tight the top three are. They're all within 0.05 of a second. Ploob, goddammit, respond to me in chat.
Well, the good thing about talking earlier, now you've got your material all good and polished and ready to go. It's like a stand-up comedy set. You got it.
Can you hear that behind me? I don't know how good the noise suppression is. I got two cackling children behind me.
I do hear that.
All right, as the seconds wind down on the clock, let's see here. Who's going to be the first to finish their final hot lap? I think it's going to be Gifted, sitting currently in 6th place. So, since nobody heard me before, and I'm now back and being broadcast, why does Defi have no time set? That is really weird. Gifted just set a purple Sector 2. Welcome to Formula West Leagues presents Friday Night Lights. Round 2, Season 23-2. In the streets of Las Vegas. Right now, Logical has provisional pole, and Gifted just stole it from him by 0.2 of a second. There is some rapid acceleration. Here comes Logical. He cuts it down to 1/1500th of a second. Now Defi is set a 1:31.0 and Logical is 0.5. Defi just blew that out of the water. Curtis moves back up into 6th place, 0.6 off of Sketchy. Has retired, so he's going to be stuck in 5th place. Watan has just picked up 7th. Let's see if the Schmer... Nope, the Schmers is pit, so he won't be able to improve on that. So is Italian. Where's Steven here? Steven, maybe the last hot lap setter, comes across the line, and he is still in 13th place. 1.2 seconds behind. Okay, so that's... You can't hear me no more. Why can't you hear me? I don't understand what's happening. Super frustrating. So frustrating. Why can't you guys hear me? Wish you could hear me.
Grand.
Grand, indeed. Welcome, everyone, to Friday Night Lights, presented by Formula Worldwide Leagues. This is Jim Cab here. The incomparable Donut Puncher will not be joining us tonight. He is taking a well-deserved break and going on a family vacation. I don't know if you did he say he was going to Oregon or something like that? I don't remember. But so instead, we have MassiveNoogies joining us and going to be providing primary commentary for everyone tonight. Here, round 2 in the streets of Las Vegas, just like in the real world, except we don't have stray valve covers ripping apart the bottom of the Ferraris. In our league, the Ferraris rip themselves apart.
Well, I suppose while we're sitting here waiting on the grid girls to make their exit. Actually, it's a shame that we don't have the grid girls. That's just my opinion. Let's take a look at the standings. After one race, we have Logical Terror, 25 points. Defy, or Defy, and you say he's a returning driver. Is that correct, Ted?
Yes. So he raced like one race at the beginning of last season, and then he raced
one race.
Yeah, he had raced a handful of races the previous season. It was the last season in F1 22, and then
oh my God.
then he left. He said some mean things. He left. Then he came back. He saw how fast everybody was, and so he decided to leave and continue to practice and return this season, I should say. And there he is, fastest lap. He had the win in hand last week, but Logical has also been putting in a ton of work, so it ain't gonna be easy.
No, I'm definitely looking forward to this season because as Donut and I had been talking last week, I guess Defy is the new Sketchable. Is that
Yeah,
an assumption we can all make?
yeah, I would say so. And Sketchy is back. I mean, he was just off last week on a vacation, so he's back. But as we start this formation
So
lap,
Sketchable's
we've got
the old Sketchy. Sketchy Senior.
Sure.
Sketchy Senior and Junior. So, back to the standings. So, yep, Logical Terror in first, Defy in second, the Schmurz Crews in third, everybody's favorite independent wrestler, Curtis Chaos, a.k.a. Victor Chouse, in fourth, the previous season's winner, NXR Gifted, sitting in fifth place, but he's placed very conveniently on the front row for this race, so curious to see what he can do. We got Nova in sixth place in the standings, Step in seventh, old Switch Fishy, which I think is the wild card. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, he's definitely got the pace, but he is still green to the FNL crew. He could make some upsets if he keeps his race clean and takes advantage of some other poor schmucks excursion into the walls.
By poor schmucks, you mean Chaos Corrupted.
I don't name names.
Well, I do. That's my job. That's what I'm here for, Ted.
That's why we keep you coming.
In ninth place, we have Junior Correa. And in 10th place, Ives. If I didn't name you, well, you ain't got shit next to your name yet. But it's only been one race. And we've got 9 ahead of us, including this one. And is this Friday Night Lights' first foray onto the Las Vegas track, or have we been here before?
No, we have not. I mean, WTF was here on Wednesday. for a Codemasters buffet of glitches. But this is the first. This week is the first week that the entire league's ever officially raced in Las Vegas. So lines up perfectly with the debut in real life. And as I stated in the quali where no one heard me, no errant valve hole covers to be to worry about here. All right, well, I'm going to hand it off to you, Mass, as we go to the grid. Get ready for this thing to get started.
All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to do my best to find the best camera view, although it's always a little chaotic at the start. That's a given. All right, shit, here we go. Using the director view. Everybody's all spaced out. Gifted. Oh, shit. Keeping it clean. All right, I can appreciate that. But Deffy leading the pack. He's already got a good half-second plus lead. Let's take a look at the back real quick just to see if any chaos. Nope, just chaos corrupted. Lots of overtakes so far. Logical down to third. Wait a second. I think he started third. Ted, correct me on that.
Yes, he did start third.
Okay, all right. I remember he had the fastest lap there for a while, but Deffy, I believe, took it there towards the end. All right, trying to keep up with this close action. At the front, it's kind of spaced out a little bit. So let's go down to the mid-pack, taking a look at Sketchy and Curtis and the Schmers, who has dropped some positions because he was third. No, he's third in the standings. I shouldn't have gone over the standings before the race.
It's all good. We have Italian in the back, just completely destroying his car. He's got no front wing, and we have a virtual safety car. So I don't know what happened to him. I wasn't following along, but he's going to be limping his way back to the pits for a new wing.
He has zero wing. We're going to take a look really quickly at the race director. Deffy, collision with Gifted. We saw that one. Switch Fishy, collision with Evase. Junior Correa, collision with AZ Italian.
Oh boy.
Which is no surprise because Junior's the guy directly in front of Italian.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at his wing, though. He didn't go into the pit, so
yeah, he's all good.
Sign for him.
He has no damage. The only
so
person with damage
only
is
a VSC.
Yeah, and logical pit. I don't know if you noticed that. Early pit stop for VSC. He is now in 16th place, and he is on the hards. You think he's going to try to go the distance?
It makes me wonder if he wasn't paying close attention and maybe thought that was an actual safety car.
Potentially.
I can't think of any other good reason to do that.
Unless he had some damage. You know what I missed is the pit stop time. Italian's pit stop time was 7.4 seconds. But Italian also has rear wing damage. So that's not going to be fun for the rest of these 23 laps.
Well, I'll tell you who that is good for. Our good buddy Scarthurs in P15. I've given him a stern talking. I've told him he needs to be a consistent top 7, or we're just not going to point the camera his direction anymore. Let's see, where's the closest action? It's up here. In the middle of the grid. We've got 3 guys on the hard tires who started on them. Meanwhile, Logical dove into the pit to go onto hards under VSC, a reason that only he knows. But maybe he is going to try and go the distance on a set of hards. I don't know. I would anticipate with 17 drivers at a track such as this, we're going to be expecting a safety car. But his call, not mine. He's the one sitting first in the standings, not me. So we had a brief yellow. No longer, though. And I'm surprised that there aren't any real close battles as of yet at a track like this. Oh, I take that back. So Sketchy has moved into second. Something has happened with Gifted. Because I recall that gap between Gifted and Sketchy being a lot larger than that. Meanwhile, Duffy 1.6 seconds ahead. So we've got Sketchy Jr. leading his dad, Sketchy Sr. Will we see some hot action between the two family members? Or will we see some nepotism play out and they help each other? I don't think so. I think we've got a silent rivalry here. They don't want to talk about it, but I think it's there. A little new blood coming in. Oh, we got some action here between Logical and Scar. Don't let me down, Scar. Not that I'm rooting against you, Logical, but I just want to see some hot action. That's all that is, folks. So, as always, the chat line is open. Feel free to communicate with us via Twitch at twitch.tv/Formula West Leagues. Let us know your thoughts, questions, concerns. Or if you're in the Discord, you know what to do. Plenty of channels there. Meanwhile, as we follow along with Migos, who's battling it out with Heat Gang. Just to put this on the side here, I've got the F1 practice pulled up, so if I see a car crash, I'm going to let you guys know. Otherwise, I'm keeping a lid on that one. Migos and Steven. Steven and Migos. Oh, shit. Mig's almost losing it. On 4-lap-old softs, so I can already tell this race is not panning out the way he wants to because, as I mentioned before, no close battles, so the risk of safety car is kind of low at this point. And if you're on a soft tire to start with, you're guaranteed, well, I shouldn't say guaranteed, but extremely likely for a 2-lap or a 2-stop strategy. I believe the game is going to recommend soft, medium, medium. Meanwhile, everybody that started on mediums or hards, very likely only going to do 1 stop unless something crazy happens, which surprisingly has not yet. 1 VSC and that's it in 5 laps. I'm pleasantly surprised. Everybody's extremely well behaved. For the sake of entertainment, maybe
Massive,
not
we
so
should
pleasant a surprise.
we should move up to the front. The Schmers was in second place, and now Sketchy and Gifted capitalized on a problem. And now he's back down to 4th, with Sketchy in second, 2.5 seconds behind Defy.
So Sketchy somewhere lost almost a whole second to Defy. And I don't care if he meant for that to be Defy. Oh, I thought he was for sure going to lose it there. Good.
Nice catch.
Great catch, yeah. That was a Terrell Owens move right there. Good catch, buddy.
Also, some news from the back of the pack. Evaz has front wing damage. Don't know the extent of it, but he does have front wing damage.
So we've got boy_Gurf in our chat. Welcome. Keep up the good sleuth work there. Let us know if you see any tight battles somewhere that we're just not seeing. But we do have a nice battle here for second between Gifted, Sketchy Senior, and the Schmurge. Wannabe, a second and a half back. He's not really any threat to these guys.
I mean, this battle
They do
between
appear
these two is just excellent. Lots of back and forth. They're keeping close to each other. I mean, Gifted is the one who prevented Sketchy from getting a 3-time championship, following in the steps of Max.
Well, they're gonna, if there's any sort of rivalry there, they're gonna have to put it behind them, because if they want to catch Deffy, they've got to work together. It's gonna be a lot of trading off, using DRS, letting the other guy by.
Well, they have.
Because
I
if they
mean,
choose,
Sketchy has cut down 3/10 from his trailing of Defy. So, you know what I neglected to check was 2.26 pit stop for Migs. The weather. I don't know if anybody has any information on the weather forecast. So, I mean, it's dry right now, obviously, but I don't know if there's going to be rain.
So Ploob says, let's watch the P17 battle. What do you mean the P17 battle? Ploob, get out of here. Watching Italian back there on 5-lap old soft, 17, almost 18 seconds behind the field. I ain't watching that. Here we go. We're going to see an overtake here. The Schmurz on Gifted. And meanwhile, look at that. Sketchy Senior, 1.3 seconds behind Deffy. That, something must have happened there, because that was a whole second lost. Sketchy, 6% ERS. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, he must have blasted.
Holy crap.
That ERS, you're right.
And Deffy, not too much better, 19.
Yeah. The right now.
Meanwhile, Gifted, 62.
Yeah, Gifted's got 62. Italian is also, and Revokes are in the 60s as well. We got a note here. Revokes had to serve a quality ban for an unfortunate incident in last week's race. He's the biggest gainer in this race. He's now moved up 9 positions from last to 8th place, and he still has a boatload of ERS left. So watch out for him. He is rapid. Him and Defy teamed up together with Williams. Williams could be the team.
Shit.
Oh yeah, he just smacked the wall there, but I don't believe he suffered any damage from that.
I think he may have lost an end plate. He did. His left end plate is gone.
Oh, interesting. The telemetry does not show it gone.
Are we looking at the same guy? We're looking at Evase?
Oh, I'm looking at Revokes. Yeah, Evase has front wing damage. That's from several laps ago. Oh, the Schmurz just picks up a time penalty.
So, Ploob, you wanted me to see that battle. I watched it. It's over. I'm back to the front. This is why I don't trust you, Ploob. No, I'm just kidding. There was a good battle very briefly until a vase hit the wall. And Sketchy Senior, 1.3 seconds behind his son. Meanwhile, Gifted in the Schmurz chasing down Sketchy. This is what we like to see. It's great when it's 2 people battling and it's close. That's fun. That's awesome. Yeah. But when it's 4 people, that's a full house, my friend.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of John Stamoses out there just looking sexy.
Well, it looks like Evaz has pit. He is getting a new front wing. 7.4 second pit stop. Drops to last, but he We'll have a more stable car now.
So for anyone that is watching currently, or for any of you drivers that may want to go back and watch this stream, I apologize if we don't get to watch you, but son of a bitch, we got a great battle up here. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to be on camera, this is where you need to be.
How did we just miss this? The Schmers is up into second place all of a sudden. You just passed Sketchy and Gifted.
Oh yeah. Sketchy with 5% battery. I don't know if he just absolutely could not stand the sight of his son just leaving him.
Gifted's got a lot of ERS, and he's got DRS now, but so does Sketchy. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Probably the smarter move there from Gifted. Sketchy's got DRS also, so why waste DRS? He could use it at a more opportune time.
A nice 2.26 pit stop from Chaos Corrupted. Oh, and we have a yellow. What's going on here?
I think, it should be clearing up soon. No one's hanging around. So the dark horse that I mentioned at the beginning of the race, Switch Fishy, down in 12th place, and I think what you had said earlier, Ted, is definitely come into play here. Maybe quick over one lap, but race scenario is a completely different thing. Oh, here we go. It's tight. Look at this. He's going to go on the inside. Sketchy on the inside.
Whoa, the Schmers just nearly kisses the wall there. Oh, no. Some news from the midfield. Both Logical and X Revokes have front wing damage. This is not faring well for Logical and the Mercedes or in the McLaren, who is our current season leader.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be hoping for a safety car because it's not looking too good for him right now.
Well, Revokes is pitting right now. He's getting a new wing. Switch Fishy just pit for 2.2 seconds.
What the hell? Ploob says, watch Miggs right now. I need to see that. Yeah, Miggs, who's almost 6 seconds behind Junior. Yeah. You can just imagine it. How about that?
Here, I'll appease him. Tell him to look at my stream. Go look at my stream, Ploob. There. Now you can watch your friend. All by himself, with no one else around him. If he shared his data like I told him to, I could tell you other stuff, like if he's got any wing damage or how much ERS he's got left or how far his tires are gone. Ooh, 5-second penalty to the Schmers. Speeding in the pit lane. You know what, Massive? I've been practicing on this track a lot this week, and the pit entry to this track is deceivingly tricky.
Oh, yeah, that little left turn will catch you off guard.
We have a whole bunch of people pitting right now.
Ploob wants to know what your stream is. Well,
Ploob, go look in Twitch streams channel in the Discord. Come on, use your eyes. And my name is FWL JIMCAB, so you should be able to find it pretty easily. Junior just pit and also had to replace a front wing, interestingly enough.
We got Sketchy Senior chasing down Gifted. They decided not to pit. They're going to stay out a little bit longer before going on to the hards, I'm sure. Sketchy with 9% battery compared to the 50, almost 50% that Gifted has. Gifted's just taking it easy right now. We're just now at half race distance pretty much. Now both drivers entering the pit. Oh, there's that little kink right there. I'm pretty sure he was lucky enough not to get any sort of wing damage. Let's see where these guys come out relative to Schmers and Deffy. Patrick Deffy. The Schmooze takes the lead, although he's got 8 seconds in penalties. He's got a drive-through and a 3-second track limits penalty.
He's got a drive-through? No, he's got a 5-second penalty, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane.
Yeah.
Correct. He is the only driver on the grid with any penalties, and he's got 2 of them.
Yeah, that's some tough luck. I mean, it's a skill thing, but the Schmers is good. I don't want to disparage him. It's just sucks to get that speeding in the pit lane one is just one I know when I get it. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me! Like, this is ridiculous. What?
So Curtis Chaos leading the race now on 12 lap old hards. Meanwhile, Deffy behind him. And the Schmers 3 seconds behind Deffy, plus another 3, plus a 5 seconds. So calculate that how you will. Sketchy, meanwhile, all over the back of the Schmers. And Gifted further back. So I think the early pit stop was the way to go. I think that extra lap on the mediums just kind of took the wind out of their sails a little bit.
Steven comes into the pits in this Haas on 12, 13 lap old hards. He had moved all the way up to 5th place from, I believe, 13th. But he's back down to 11th now after this pit stop. 2.26, and he's on fresh mediums. Meanwhile, Logical Terror is up to 7th place, still has front wing damage. I don't know exactly how old his tires are. He's got the hard tires from, well, they're probably 12 laps old because he pit on the first lap. And I gotta wonder if he had some damage, and I just missed that in the telemetry, but certainly he can't stretch those hards out the entire race. He's got to pit again. Maybe just a case of holding on as long as he possibly can to pray for safety.
Yeah. I still can't believe it, man. We are 14 laps into this biatch and no safety cars, just a brief VSC.
And a couple of local yellows. Sketchy moves into 3rd place.
Which is, of course, a net P2 because Curtis
is now pitting.
Yep, that definitely didn't pan out the way he wanted to. No safety car, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop the bleeding and pull into the pit. Throw on some fresh meads and hit the track. So the Schmers looks like he's not got quite the pace of Sketchy. Sketchy managed to catch up to him pretty quick there and overtake. Wannabe, all right, this is what I like to see. We have somebody else that's going to be entering the fray. Numba says, no safety cars? Great job to the racers for keeping it clean. Yeah, I would agree. There are some fairly significant gaps out there. There's some close battles. But otherwise, yeah, like I said earlier in the race, 17 drivers and no safety cars, and we're already past half race distance.
Well, we got another update from the middle of the field here. Mr. Heat Gang in the Aston Martin has now suffered front wing damage. Again, not sure how that happened. He's missing his left wing end plate.
Ploob making a great point. Scarthur's going crazy on the mediums. Yes, 14 laps so far on those mediums. Meanwhile, Logical's 14 laps on hards. I can't imagine Scar's going to be out there much longer on those. He is desperately hoping for a safety car. Which in 16th place is... he may as well come in. But you do what you do, Scar. Personally, I'd like to see you go onto those softs and nail a fastest lap. So revisiting the Schmers, he had just been overtaken by Sketchy. Now he's almost 2 seconds behind him. And what was a pretty sizable lead from Deffy has now been cut down to only 2 seconds to his pops, Sketchy Sr. Wannabe still sticking with Gifted. Makes the pass. And probably the most likely spot on track to see some overtakes. I think that's the strip. Am I correct, Ted? Is that long section that...
Let me see here. Where are they now? Yeah, the strip. Yeah, that's the strip. Basically, the strip is from the middle of Sector 2 to the beginning of Sector 3, that chicane at the end. That's the strip.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, hey, would you look at that? Scarthurs 8070 has put on the softs. You sweet son of a bitch. Let's see a fast lap. At least a 124. We got the Schmers. We got Wannabe. We got Gifted. Battling for third. Although the Schmers, he still has 8 seconds in penalties. And at this rate, he ain't going to be pitting again unless there's a safety car. So that's going to drop him down quite a bit. Meanwhile, Sketchable Sr. 1.7 seconds behind Deffy. That's a battle I'm hoping gets a lot closer. Those are two guys I really want to watch.
Look
a
at
good
this
wheel-to-wheel battle.
Watan has moved into third place. This man's on fire.
We see you. We're watching you. Meanwhile, the Schmers down to 8% battery.
Yeah, Sketchy's down to 13. Whereas Deffy has 41% ERS.
We got a battle here between... No, we don't. Ain't no battle. I just saw some people close together. We do have Junior and Revokes. Mr. Monitor Crash himself. He should... If I was him, that's what I'd always do. I'd crash into somebody and then just say, fucking monitor fell again, guys. I'm so sorry.
We have some more damage. Junior Correa has some front wing damage. Switch Fishy is in the pits replacing a front wing.
Oh, look at this. All right, Miggs. I like it. I like this aggression. Let's see it. I'm sorry, this was Junior, not Miggs. Junior.
Miggs is behind him. 5 seconds.
Miggs is in no man's land right now. Oh, look at that. All right. A little clattering with the wall there from Revokes. He's getting nervous. Junior's in 8th gear already? Okay. All right, let's go back up to the Schmers here. He is now dropped back to 5th, which if the race were to end right now, he would actually finish 6th with that 8-second penalty. Look at this. All right. I believe that was a lapped car.
No.
Right?
That
is that wannabe?
Gifted, the Schmers, and Watan. All battling for 3rd place.
So what's happening here is exactly what I was talking about earlier. And it's tougher to do when you have 3 drivers, but no one's really trying to work together. They're just kind of fighting for that little piece of land instead of looking at the bigger picture. But again, that's tough to do.
Logical is just pit for softs. It's got a new front wing, down to 13th place. We could see a...
So Ploob says, let's watch Deffy. Well, why don't I hand you a straw so you can suck my ass? Deffy's a 1.5 seconds ahead. Ain't nothing from his view. Here it is. You ready? Wasn't that great? Okay, moving back to the Schmers. Yeah, he's got penalties, but he's at least racing his heart out. Wannabe keeping it clean. This could be a podium finish for him. Currently, Wannabe has no points in the standings. He's just outside of the points in P11, which may as well be P20 if you think about it.
All right, I'm watching Steven and Heat Gang battle. Steven almost lost it after Heat Gang passed him. And Heat Gang's missing a front end plate.
So Sketchy is now just outside, or if I should use my Bob Euchre, just outside of DRS range from Deffy. Actually, now he's in DRS range, so it's about to get hot, about to get heavy. We're on lap 20. We've got about 5.5 laps worth of racing left. And Deffy's only got 8% battery. Sketchy, meanwhile, has more ERS than him. That's a first. So if Deffy's down to now 2% battery, that means he's been relying on that to stay ahead of Sketchy.
Yeah, for at least the last 5 laps. Because he was up in the 40s, 50s of ERS, and now he's used it all up in the last 5 laps.
Sketchy not able to keep it close. He's back out of DRS range. Meanwhile, I can see there's a hot battle there between Curtis and the Schmers. I can see there's some hot battles going over there with Migos and Logical and Heat Gang.
I'm watching on board with them. Logical just picked up 2-3 positions down the strip.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I'm switching over to that one because, I mean, a second between the top two.
Revokes
we can come
just
back.
saves the rear.
Numba says 5-lap battle for the win. Let's go, Deffy and Sketchy. Oh, trust me, I'll be all over that once Sketchy gets a little bit closer. But right now we've got some hot battles in the midfield.
Logical has moved himself into points position. 10th place.
And where was I going with that? Fastest lap is Curtis right now with a 34.562. I would have guessed it would have been Logical.
Well, he may still have time to do that. Logical's a 134.7. No, 134.585. I think he's going to beat that momentarily.
So we've got yet another position change for P3. Wannabe takes it back, but he's got no battery. And Gifted, he's playing it smart. He knows he's got a DRS area coming up here. Why make the pass there when you can do it here? Well, I guess you got to be a little bit closer, though. And now we've got Curtis chasing down Gifted. So hot battle for P3, and the battle for P1 is getting a little bit closer. We're now at 0.7 of a gap, which means Sketchable's in DRS range, of course. And he is on a knife's edge. This is the battle that you paid to see, folks. And there's the overtake for first. Sketchy making the easy pass on the strip. What happens now? With just over 3 laps of racing to go. Starting lap 23. It's Sketchy Sr. and his scrappy son, Deffy. And we've got a yellow. Who is it? And it's gone now. Or it's still there. Why is it still there? Alright, Curtis fighting Gifted with Wannabe close behind. Why can't you sons of bitches just all be together instead of making me switch cameras? That's what we have Ted for. He's got some other action going on, so split screen it if you're at home. Ploob says, "Can we watch Fishy?" Ploob, all right, now I know you're just fucking with me. I know you're just fucking with me now.
I've been following along with Logical because I wanted to see if he can cut down that 10-second deficit to Heat Gang to pick up another point, and to see if he could pick up fastest lap. Surprisingly, he's not able to make it happen on those softs. So there's still a couple laps to go, but as it stands right now, he's 3.8 seconds behind Heat Gang. 2.5 laps to go.
So Deffy retakes the lead, and we've just started lap 24. 2 full laps of racing to go, folks. And the leaders are both on hard tires, although Sketchy on 11-lap old hards versus Deffy's 12-lap old hards. Sketchy with 30% battery. Deffy, man, these guys are exactly the same amount of battery usage. A little lock up from Sketchy. Deffy maybe baiting him there. And, well, Ploob, you're about to get your wish. We're about to be watching Switch Fishy here because these guys are about to pass him. So Sketchy not as aggressive as I would expect him to be. Maybe he's just keeping it close. Oh yeah, look at that. He does not want to pass Deffy before the start of the last lap. He wants to do that on lap 25. So
Gifted's going to make a move here. Passes Watan. Oh, that came real close. I think Watan clipped the wall out of there. But Gifted makes the pass stick, moves up into 4th place.
All right, folks, here it goes. Last
Final
lap.
lap.
Deffy, Sketchy. Entering the first DRS zone. Deffy looks like he barely grazed the wall. Sketchy using DRS, but making no attempt at an overtake because he's obviously going to be saving that for the strip, the long DRS, the longest DRS section of the track. So he's bet the house on that one, which means he's got to be close or relatively close enough to make that pass. So he cannot make any errors before that section of track. Otherwise, he's just going to have to be happy with P2. He's saving ERS. He's got 50% battery. Meanwhile, Deffy, 19%. So if these were this was Vegas betting odds, Sketchy's got it. Deffy's weaving. Oh. We've got some contacts. I don't even know how that happened, but it happened. And here we go, folks. It's getting hot. It's getting heavy. Deffy loses it. He spins. That's going to give Curtis P2. Gifted's coming up quick. Is he going to be able to make the pass too? I don't know how far away he is. Oh, he already made the pass. Deffy's down to 6th. What the hell? Oh, my God.
That's just madness. He's going to be so mad. He's going to be so
the
mad.
father beats the son.
Logical moves up into 9th place, passing Heat Gang on the last lap to get an extra point. And meanwhile, Italian has set the fastest lap with a busted up rear wing on fresh softs.
Okay. Scar. Not P7 or better, buddy. Switch Fishy, the only driver not to finish on the lead lap. Deffy has already left the session. He said, F this. Scar into the wall. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Who's mad? Heat Gang says, fuck this track. All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't put any money down on that race because, well, I don't have any money to offer anyway. Sketchable back on the top podium after missing last week. He wasn't here last week, was he?
Sketchy was off last week.
That's right. Okay, so yeah, podium ceremonies, all right. Yeah, cool. Yeah, all right. Magically, we're not wet somehow, even though this is being sprayed right on us. So let's get our top 3. Sketchy. What the?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Why can't? Oh, Curtis. He's on PC. Yes, we can hear you. Curtis Chaos. I would love to invite you, but you're on PC. Does Curtis Chaos have an Xbox gamer tag we can send a party invite to?
Yeah, he does.
I just sent
I'll
one.
see if I can play.
I just sent one.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Great. All right, guys. First of all, fantastic race. No safety cars. One short VSC. Like I was telling our good buddy Ted Kravitz here, if I had put money down on that, I would have lost terribly. Let's move over to Gifted first with a P3 finish. thoughts on the race? You started P2. Do you consider P3 a good ending to that race?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely the end of the first sector I was losing out a lot, which is surprising to me. I was consistently getting good enough exits through onto the back straight to keep in DRS, which kept me in it. But yeah, at the end, Curtis got lucky with Wonton having some pretty shit corners, which held me up just enough to let him escape. But got lucky with Defi and the wall.
Yeah, I was actually going to move on over to Curtis here. I'm going to take a guess you had kind of resigned to that position that you were in. I believe it was third or fourth. And then next thing you know, you go flying right past Defi. What were your thoughts?
Well, I honestly shit myself just a little bit when I saw his car there because I knew we in the past haven't had ghosting and there was absolutely no way I was going to avoid him. But luckily he was ghosted, so I was able to continue on and take P2. Would have been P3 or P4, but I was somehow able to just sneak out a gifted's DRS range. So that's really what did it. But I didn't know we were doing the friggin' Antarctic Grand Prix this year. Thought that was next year that they were adding that on. Holy fucking shit, I had no grip.
Yeah, well, you had us fooled, man, because you looked good out there. After this race, I think that put you up to 30 points, if I'm not mistaken. So, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know how far ahead that moves you. I'm sure it moves you into the top three, though. So, congratulations on that. Moving over to Sketchable, the whole race, I was hyping up you and what I'm referring to as Sketchable Junior, which is Defi, and you guys didn't let us down, man. That was a hard fought battle, and I could tell there was a little bit of cat and mouse there towards the end. I know you didn't want to make the overtake until the last lap, so tell us about that.
I've seen that happen before. I raced here last time in a different league, and I was just playing. We were just playing who's gonna take the gamble and go. And I'm like, I know this guy really well. If I pass him, I'm fucked. I'm next straight. So I'm like, I know what he's doing. So I just stayed behind him until the final lap. And once I saw his rear light blinking, I knew I had more battery because I had 60 when I blast past him on the straight. But like I say, that reaction moving is not. I was not pleased about that. But basically my whole race was just I wasn't even playing on winning because I was like I'm just gonna keep second because I know how quick this guy is. So I'm like I'm just gonna try and close the gap but just try and get P2. But when I saw the chance, went for it and just conserved my battery because that's pretty much what I haven't been doing that whole race.
Yeah, yeah. It looked like that Defi had almost depleted his entire battery reserve trying to get away from you, and that was just not the right move to make. So, good job with that. Jim Cab, aka Ted Kravitz. Any follow-up questions?
No, I'm all good. That was a fantastic race, everyone. Not a single safety car, only dramatics at the end there. And I'll give you a preliminary update on the standings. Curtis Chaos, aka Victor Chouse, has moved into first place in the championship with Defi in second by trailing by 1 point. Logical drops to third, trailing by 3 from the lead. And Sketchy, you've moved up 17 places into fourth, with Gifted still sitting in fifth place there. So no loss in positions in the championship for our reigning champion.
Consistency.
So he's got some another big mover on the championship standings. Watan moves up 4 places to 7th, and Chaos moves up 7 places to 10th. So
Consistency wins championships.
absolutely.
I just want to add before we call it a wrap on this. We've got Discord, we've got Twitch, so in the future, post-race interviews. Anybody wants questions, it would be great to throw them out there. Not just us doing all the question asking. Or even better, if somebody's mad. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to share some comments.
Somebody talk to Deffy.
I think
Yeah, he left pretty quick.
Deffy's broken his headset.
He did. Yeah, because
I can
he
imagine why.
he is still going.
So wait, what did happen at the end there? But like, what? How did he end up in the wall?
Oh, I was. He No, he tried to get on the throttle too hard out of a turn and he just bent it.
Sketchy, did you keep count how many walls you got away with for hitting? Because I must have hit like at least 15 with no wing damage. Little taps on the sidewall, getting away with it.
Just a kiss. Just a little kiss. Little.
That start was a little hectic with me. A little bit of understeer, but kept it clean. I had a good
Yeah.
save. I had a good save. Didn't cause a crash.
That's what I was talking about with the freaking ice. Because I broke early, and I just slid. I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Yeah, no, the outlaps and quali probably lasted about 3 minutes going from the pits to the start, with how much you had to brake drag just to get over 200. It was a struggle. Yeah, I mean, I had pole. I had Formula 1.5 pole in qualifying.
Sketchy Junior.
Oh, he will. I'm sure he will.
All right.
Well, guys, I leave you to talk amongst yourselves. Again, fantastic race. Amazing that there were no safety cars. Still can't get over that with almost a full grid, 17 drivers. So, congratulations, guys. We look forward to next week, which is, what is next week?
I think it's a week off.
It is a week. It might be 2 weeks off.
Is it 2? I think it's
no.
only 1.
It's
Oh,
one. It's one.
Next
Just
one is Sao Paulo.
Yep. December
Brazil.
1st, Brazil. That'll be exciting.
More deer
Skipping
roast chicken.
right over Abu Dhabi. Fuck that track.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Bye.